The power of one. One person who recognizes injustice and acts to stop the evil. This was Raoul Wallenberg. His name is synonymous with compassion, selflessness, and courage. The type of anti-hero that movies are made of, standing up for the underdogs of the century. When much of Europe shook with fear at the Nazi war machine, Wallenberg fought back, armed with only his iron will and his determination to do good. Since taking power in 1933, the Nazis had advanced from country to country. For Jews, Nazi control meant abuse, torture, and murder in virtually every community, threatening the very existence of the Jewish people. To many, it seemed that Hitler was unstoppable. In March 1944, Hitler invaded Hungary and deported some 450,000 Hungarian Jews from the countryside, most to their death. In Budapest, more than 200,000 Jews awaited the same fate. The Swedish government and the American War Refugee Board searched for a representative to defend the Jews of Budapest. Raoul Wallenberg's name topped the list. Besides his reputation for initiative and achievement, Wallenberg was worldly. He had studied in the United States and had witnessed firsthand the calamity the war was causing throughout Europe. He had also worked in Haifa, where he befriended Jews who had escaped Nazi Germany.
So here comes this Swedish gentleman from a distinguished family and is willing to risk his life. And that gives one back some of this feeling that maybe we are worth saving.
When Wallenberg arrived in Budapest in July 1944, he jumped into action, issuing thousands of protective passports, Schutzpass, with the Swedish seal, giving Jews the status of Swedish citizens and a way out of the country.
They separate us and forced us into the wagons. Just a second before the train should start, Wallenberg appeared and yelled into every wagon, "If you possess a Schutzpass, you can immediately come out."
Operating from the Swedish embassy with some 300 volunteers, Wallenberg established safe houses under Swedish protection in which hundreds of Jewish families lived out the war in the midst of Nazi occupation. Some survivors tell of Wallenberg placing divers at the banks of the Danube to stealthily rescue Jews who had been pushed to their death by Nazis from the bridges above. Wallenberg's particular genius was for saving lives. Through his bold action, tens of thousands of Hungarian Jews survived. Under constant personal threat by the Nazis, Wallenberg carried on, thinking not of himself, but of a better future. Long before the outcome of the war was certain, he drew up a post-war reconstruction plan that would help ensure the continuity of the Jewish people.
I am here, and so are my children and my grandchildren. Because of him, only because of him, he gave me my life.
At the close of the war, Wallenberg was arrested by the Russians. According to some, he died from a heart attack in Lubjanka prison in 1947. Others say he was executed. Some reports say that Wallenberg languished far longer in Soviet captivity, perhaps even to this day.
Persecution does not just happen to Jews, so we must continue the story of Wallenberg to spread the inspiration and courage to do something about it.
Wallenberg didn't ask what needed to be done. He didn't need a decision-making process in the face of evil. He showed that we are all able to meet a challenge.
In every generation, great individuals have come forward to provide us with a moral compass, to teach us how to take action by their own selfless example. Our troubled future calls out for others to come forward, to take their place beside Raoul Wallenberg. The power of a single individual, unfettered by apathy, undeterred by fear. The power of one, who, in caring and acting, made all the difference.